So as of right now, Cuba is having massive protests against their totalitarian government and the communist regime. So, let's put it this way, the media has completely ignored this because the leftists for decades have said Cuba is this fantastic place, they support everything they're doing, and it's just a experiment basically to see if it'll work. It's obviously not working now because we have people in the streets saying that they are dying from hunger, starvation, things like that. I know Bernie Sanders is all about bread lines and shit, but obviously this is physical proof that it does not work. And the thing that's fucking amazing to me is they're protesting and they're waving the American flag, saying they want freedom. The government is saying for them when they said that they're... So New York Times said that they're out on the streets screaming freedom, liberty, and that's anti-government. That's what they said. It's anti-government for them to be wanting freedom. Isn't that a big red flag of how that country is being ran right now and why the people are protesting? Isn't that a simple, logical thing to think that because these people want freedom that they're fighting their government? I don't think so. It doesn't make any sense. It's funny to me because not many people even bring this up, especially the media. They don't remember just about a year ago in Hong Kong when they were protesting for their freedoms. And, you know, Hong Kong was actually a capitalism area, capitalistic, whatever you want to call it. It was its own section of China. It was actually, for a great majority of China's time, it was one of the biggest economical booms they ever experienced. Hong Kong was way better off than the other parts of the regime. And so there was a treaty, but that China decided that wasn't going to fly, and that's why you saw the people in Hong Kong protesting, waving the American flags. Now, why are they waving the American flag, not the Russian flag, not Italy's flag, not this or that? Because they believe in what America stands for. They believe in the liberties, the justice for all, freedom, the people. They believe in that. They have every reason to believe in that, and they're tired of their government stepping on their feet everywhere they go. They're tired of their government telling them how to live. They're tired of their government deciding everything for them. And that's why they're flying the American flag, because the American flag stands for everything that they're trying to fight for. They want these freedoms. They want every single freedom that you and me have in this country. And the sad thing is those are the things that are under attack by the left and the Democrats. They are trying to do that intentionally. They're trying to take your freedoms. I said it when COVID happened. I said it right when it happened. It would take our liberties. Look at where we're at now. People can't congregate in church. They can't, and if they are in a state where they can, they're limited to how many people can even be there. Luckily, where I live, we're not about that shit. We're probably the last state, besides a couple others, that believe in freedom. But there's the liberties that are being taken. Freedom of speech is being taken. It's a matter of we are losing our rights. Slowly but surely. I said it would happen when COVID happened. I got a backlash for saying that COVID was China's fault. They should be held responsible. And then it came from that lab. Wow. And then I also said that it is pretty much a way for them to use to take your liberties and rights, which they've done. But everybody, when I said that, they backlashed on me saying it's a serious thing, it's a big ordeal, the government's not going to take your rights, the government's not going to do this to that. But yet, mask mandates, like certain states where you had to wear a mask in your own house. Certain states where you were allowed to not wear a mask while you were in your house because you were not allowed to have people over. And here's another thing that the media isn't going to tell you, and it's something that blows my mind because it's complete and physical evidence of what these people are trying to do. They are going after this. Christianity in Canada. Churches are being burnt to the ground. Churches. And The funny thing is people in their government are tweeting, burn it all down, things like that. Isn't this what I was getting at a year ago, saying these things would be taken from us? They're trying to take your liberties. They're trying to take your rights and your freedoms. Canada is actually in a worse state than America, if you really want to get to that point. It is an obvious example of what liberalism and people like that want to do to you. They want you to be a socialist. They want you to be a communist. Socialism is just a fancy word for communism. It will never work. It never has. And it's proven it's not working. What they're trying to do is create this whole one world thing. And it's not going to happen. They're trying to take what is the greatest country in the fucking world and turn it into that very thing. All these people that... it's like when I see people wearing, what's that guy's name? Cortez or whatever, that when they wear in his shirt and they think that stands for freedoms. He was a mass murderer. He destroyed his country. He ruined it. When asked if he was a communist, he said no, but it ended up being true that he's a communist. And it's funny to me that people want to glorify this man. Just like George Floyd, he was an absolute fucking criminal. I'm not saying what Chauvin did was the right thing. I'm saying that George Floyd is not a hero. He's a piece of shit and always will be. And honestly, why are we putting up a statue of this man? Because if I ever am walking, let's say I have a kid, and my kid says, "Who's that man?" and I see that's the statue that they're looking at, I'd say that's Fentanyl George. Savior of the fentanyl people. Savior of the criminals. Ever since he died, wow, look at all the crime going up. It's skyrocketing. And it's funny to me because when the Democrats are the ones saying live on TV, Jen Psaki, you're a fucking twat, live on TV saying that the Republicans are the ones that wanted to defund the police, that's bullshit because all 22 cities that have defunded the police are Democrats. And then where these people, these very same people will say that with this current bill that the Republicans are denying is in turn defunding the police, when in fact it does not at any point in that mention police at all, not once. How is that the Republicans trying to defund something that isn't mentioned in the bill? It doesn't make any sense, does it? So on top of that, it's very disturbing to see these countries that are communistically ran, where the people that are protesting, they're protesting for freedom. They're protesting for starving. They're protesting for their wanting just human rights. Just simple, God-given things that we all deserve. And they're flying the American flag because that is what America is. America promises those things. In America, if you starve, it's because you caused that problem. It's pretty simple. In America, if you're homeless, there could be a lot of factors to it. But there are many things you can do as a person to get out of that situation. And I'm not saying I don't believe in, like people being homeless and needing things. I know they need things, and I know they need to be given a chance. That's why every time I see somebody that's homeless and I can tell that they're literally in that situation and not just pandering, I'll help them out. I'll ask them if they need a drink. Do you need some food? I got cigarettes on me. Do you want some cigarettes? I won't give them money because I'm just not about that, because some people have crutches in their life, and that's why they're trying to get the money, because they're trying to obtain what is their crutch and just continue spiraling down that hole. But it's just like, there's another guy that I used to talk to all the time as I was walking to work, acting homeless. He wasn't homeless at all. And it really bugged me to know that there have been times where I've given him food, drink, and things like that. Never gave him money because of this very reason. One day when I'm walking across the street to where he normally stands on his corner, I see this dude hopping into a Mercedes AMG. So he was panhandling, basically, scamming people into giving him money just by standing on a corner. That's the problem. The problem is that people that do that are taking from people that actually need it. But my point is this. Other countries that are protesting their government are talking about freedom. Mainly freedom. They're talking about having liberties and having food. And it's funny because these are all communist countries, and these people that are protesting are flying the American flag. But yet in America we have people, especially on the 4th of July, talking about how America is a piece of shit, hating America, directly hating American flags, directly saying that it makes them uncomfortable when they see an American flag because it is inherently racist for somebody to have an American flag. They think that's a racist if they have an American flag. I don't understand. It's just like a while back in Pride Month, I was walking into a friend's house, and it was on the other side of town, which is known to be a lot more liberal. There was a pride flag. I have no problem with that. I have absolutely zero. But the little sign that they had under it that said, "I took down my American flag to fly this pride flag for Pride Month." So you took down the flag that gives you every right to be gay, lesbian, etc., to fly the pride flag, which is supposed to stand for that, but you took down the flag that gives you every right, freedom, liberty to do that, and then had to make a statement saying, "I took down my American flag to put this flag up because Pride Month." That's absolute ignorance in my mind. That person probably doesn't know a fucking thing about politics. And it's sad. It's sad to see people in this state. It's sad to see people in this mindset that CNN and The View or whatever the fuck has told them to think. America is not, absolutely not, a racist country that they're telling you it is. Yes, there are people that are like that. But as I said, the best thing about America is typically the good outweighs the bad. It's disturbing to see all these people that are just outright hating this country, teaching their children to hate this country. Schools are teaching the children to hate this country. Schools are teaching the children to hate themselves for their skin color or think they're better than others because of their skin color, which is absolutely not what this country is about. This country is about equality. But to see this, while those other countries are doing the exact opposite, blows my mind. I am glad that there's so many people that are starting to realize what's going on, starting to think about things, starting to realize that they do have liberties and freedoms and justice for all, starting to realize that there was millions of people that put their lives on the line for them to have those freedoms. It's not about skin color. It's not about demographic. It is not about who you are. It's not about being gay. It's not about being a lesbian. Pedophilia is a unanimous one that's actually just wrong. Don't fucking do that. Don't identify as a 6-year-old so you can fuck around with a 6-year-old. You get what I mean? But other than that, these very same people that are doing this, like being gay, changing their gender, whatever, are the ones that are saying that they hate this country. But when asked why, they say it's all stupid shit that they can't actually give factual basis to. That part is pretty sad. It's really sad, actually, to me, for people to be that uneducated. It's like when somebody sees that I have a rebel flag, they determine that they're going to start educating me, which is funny because they're on the party that flew that flag. But they don't realize that. They don't know their history. They don't know their facts. They are taught inherently to believe this country is just an absolute shithole, when actually this country isn't. It's a country that loves you. It's a country that's for the people. The people. The biggest thing that we could do as a country right now is the people stand up to this bullshit regime of a government that we're in now. It would be beneficial for us to finally decide, hey, it's time that we do things the correct way and not follow what these so-called politicians say is correct. Because, I mean, look at it this way. Like, look at all the funding we're sending to other countries. You know, like, let's put it in a liberal point of view where they say, you know, we could buy houses and the homeless and all this stuff. Theoretically, yes, we could, if we weren't sending all this money to other countries instead of helping the people. That's what my point is. It breaks down to the fact that the government's not helping the people. The government, especially now, is actually completely against the people of the United States. The people are what matter. Like I said, I don't care what color, skin, anything. I don't care what you are, who you are. But as an American citizen, that's who they should be helping. They shouldn't be helping overseas. They shouldn't be funding things that cause problems. We've already got a war in the Middle East. Wow, not even 6 months in, we got this problem. This is my point. And now we have an elected official that, as he'll be speaking, completely freezes, loses his train of thought, gets lost in cafeterias, doesn't know where he's going. Kamala's got to be right next to him everywhere he goes. His aide's got to be next to him everywhere he goes. The whole world sees this. They see how weak we are becoming because of this. This is why you people that do that obviously don't know what you're looking into and who you're voting for. You just go by what the media tells you. You go by what these piece of shit teachers, and I really hate that they are doing this. There's people that will be like, I know who I'm voting for, who are you voting for, and basically they can create a biasness by doing that. That student might say they're voting for somebody else, so then they fail them on the next project. It's absolutely ridiculous because the children are being forced, not pushed, they're being forced to follow whatever biasness is going on. It's disgusting, and I really wish that people would wake up, and someday, I think, someday, the American people are going to find out and figure it out and do it the right way. We'll be all together in it. I brought up 9/11 one time, and somebody said that the country wasn't united at that point. It was an inherent thing where we were all being racist against Middle Easterners. Absolutely not. That had nothing to do with that. Yes, that demographic were the ones that flew the planes into the building, but it was more than that. When it happened, the people trying to help all those people, the people putting their lives on the line to do what they could to save people, the country was immediately united. It had nothing to do with skin color, race, religion, etc. It had to do with the fact that there was a tragedy and the country came together as people. And that's the biggest thing. What happened to that? Didn't we say we'd never forget? It seems like a lot of people have forgotten. I would hope that maybe we come to the point where we do remember and continue to act as people of this country. America first, not America last. America is the greatest country on this planet, and it always will be as long as the people continue to make it and retain it. That's all I have for today, but I'd also like to throw another point in on the end of this, and I don't know whether people will care or not. I kind of care because I think this is what my grading point was about them not caring about the American people. Yes, you know, they pulled out of Afghanistan. Okay. A lot of people are just like, oh, okay, that's what happened. When in fact, when they did, we left a shit ton of arms over there, fucking tanks, just weaponry. There's literally a video of the Taliban in one of our tanks, mobbing through the desert, laughing and smiling and giggling and waving. Look at what we've become.